Let's get it. Smash the like button. Hey, I had this session up last night. A couple of y'all rolled through, popped in the chat. Salute to y'all. Appreciate y'all for pulling up and all of that. Definitely got to thank Dickie Foster for the super sticker, my brother.
I never knew that I would do numbers like this. I make a move. I'm tryna win. Ain't tryna lose. I'm tryna win. Ain't tryna lose.
Hey, we back in action. Back in action. They was mad. They was mad at that Mythbusters. I ain't gonna lie. I got some emails. You know, it's a whole bunch going on, man, in the community. I tell you that they wasn't happy about that Mythbusters. They wasn't. They wasn't, man. It's some more Mythbusters. Get the magazine. Tap in. You know, with the daily functions, everything we got going on. Appreciate all the support. I think I gotta get another one out there. I can't remember if somebody got another one. Can't remember, fellas. Well, fuck it. We just gonna go to the post office anyway. Who want a free mag? Who want a free mag? Who want a free mag? I'm gonna bless somebody that got in here early, man. Number 1 through 100, man. 1 through 100 for a free mag. Fuck it. If you know, you know. You get here late, I ain't gonna say it no more. That's it. Feel me? You know how we get it, man. Early bird get the worm. You only need so much rest in a day. Especially if you ain't where you want to be in life. You definitely want to dig in. You know. Nowadays, you could be young and old. This internet, you know, you could be old working this internet. Tough. Going in, right? These computers, everything. The world is not limited to what you can do with your physical presence. It's not limited to that. You know, there's a lot of non-physical sports, different things that you can do. Hustles. And it opens up the playing field. You know, I could be 70 years old on my laptop, racking in, you know, thousands a day. You know, you gotta. That's why they got CEOs of companies and business owners and shit. You know, just gotta think outside the box, man. That's all. Stay away from dudes that are pessimists. You know, they're pessimistic about everything. Stay away from those dudes. Not gonna help you out. You're a dreamer. You know, you think the impossible, right? You got you got faith in the impossible. They lack the faith on things that seemingly should be easy to do, but they don't have the faith to do it. So you got to be careful what type of people you let up in your space, bruh. Tell you, it's gonna dumb you down, it's gonna drag you down, your spirits. Okay. Smash the like button. We in here. You guys could just do me a favor, smash the like. Um, we can get a cook in. I want to talk about preservation. We don't really have nothing on the menu, but with the great chat, we can always find something to talk about. Okay. Can always find something. Let me tone that down a little bit. Dogman TV, hey, salute. Salute my brother early in the morning. Wake and bake. Wake and bake. Wake and bake early. Talked to some real good dudes last night. It's a lot going on in the world, man. It's a lot going on, man. I just think that just to put it out there, this ain't about no dogs. Just humanity, different things like that. That thing with the young lady on the bus or the train or whatever she was on that was brutally attacked. That's not how we're gonna move forward as a society, man. It's not. So because that's somebody's child. That was somebody's child that did that, right? Even though you can be an adult and all way, can be an adult, but you got to take responsibility for the type of people that you bring into this world. If you're looking at it from a genetics standpoint, straight up, you can't procreate. And I'm not saying I don't know this guy's parents. I think the way people are trying to turn it into a racial thing is beyond me, right? I don't think this is a racial thing, right? Cortland Ross, what up, brother? Hard and finish. Musician in the building. I'm trying to give out a mag, man, 1 through 100. I said I wasn't gonna say it no more, but I guess I'll give you guys a shot. 1 through 100. I want to go to the post office today. Let's get it in. Okay, we getting it. We getting it. 19, you know, that 19 block, you know. Not today. Tennessee Steel Kennels. Salute to you, brother. 1 through 100, you can win a free magazine. You know, we chopping it up. My stance on that bus situation, that was disgusting. That was disgusting, bro. You know, that hikes up the tension between everybody, man. Let's be honest. And if one of us was there, I think it would have been our obligation to either render aid or, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna be honest, man. If I was in that situation, because there was a lot of people worried about the people that weren't doing anything. It's a lot of people that were worried about it. And I was kind of shocked. It actually took me 2 or 3 times to watch it before I even knew what happened. Like when I first saw it a couple times, I thought he just slapped her and she just went in the seat, you know, but it was far more than that. Okay. My shot's nasty. Salute. So then I see, you know, what's going on, and it's like, damn, you know, and I don't know. I didn't hear no audio, so I don't know what it sounded. Oh, actually, I did. I'm lying. I did hear some audio. I heard somebody, they was on their phone and you know whatnot. But you got to understand, and maybe this might come off the wrong way. You know, we got a risky job doing these podcasts and talking and speaking to the people. You know, this isn't for everybody. So I'll take the backlash. But if I was in that situation, sure, I would have wanted to help. I would have wanted to help out. I'm not the type that would just want to sit there and watch somebody be brutally attacked, bludgeoned. But I mean, they probably not looking at those cameras on the bus. They're probably not thinking that those cameras even work, or if the camera could see, you know, the thing. What I be thinking about is, you know, they might motherfucking think I did this shit. They might think I did this shit, right? This woman, right? And I don't know if they knew she was from Ukraine, and you know how sensitive things get when it gets to these subjects. You know, me being a criminal, I got a couple handfuls of, well, now I do. I had almost a handful of felonies. Now I got 2 handfuls of felonies, you know, and I be annoyed, bruh. I already got a strike, right? Just on some real life. So I think a lot of those people that were there that were not responding, they were more either scared of this dude that just did something that, you know, we all, you know, you're not just going to think that's going to happen without any type of confrontation or anything. You know, I've seen arguments go bad, but just not even say anything to anybody, just hop on the bus, sit down, you know, mind your own business, looking in your phone, and somebody just get you, right? I think that'll be a testament to, you know, never have your back turned to somebody, bro. You know, this will be you know, you can't You can't trust a motherfucker standing in your face. You can't trust a motherfucker with his back turned, right? So that was terrible, man. Smash the like 1 through 100. We still, I don't think we got the number yet. Big C in the building, salute. Let's see. We see who we got. Uncle Willie Kennel's in the building. Uncle Willie's Kennel. Let me get that right, man. Salute to you, brother. Yeah, get involved. You see that, get involved. I hear that. I hear that, bro. I hear that. And cause I wasn't there. So I don't know what the fuck I would have done, you know. I know that I mean, it would be interesting to see what people would do. Depending on what you got, you see he got something sharp, something super sharp. So you're in public. Think about it, musician. You might be a bad motherfucker. You might be the baddest motherfucker, bro, that I ever talked to, right? But just think about it for a second. And let's say you didn't have nothing on you. We'll just act like the people that were on that bus didn't have nothing on them. Right? You saw, because if he hit her, unless he cut himself, right? Because I know I done seen some gory shit. I done seen some gory shit. So just hear me out. You know, constant pressure, my brother. What up?
What's up with it, brother? How you doing this morning?
Man, just having just chopping it up, whatever, comes to mind. Eventually, I'm gonna talk about preservation.
Okay, okay.
But,
Yes.
right now, I just wanted to get my stance on that situation on that bus with the young lady got stabbed.
Man, I ain't see too much about it.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Some dude was sitting behind her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, he was sitting in his seat, and then she just got on the train or bus and sat down. And I don't know how much longer later, maybe it was a couple minutes, maybe it was instantly, maybe it was 30 minutes, who knows? But they see him flip out what I could see like pocket style kind of knife, kind of flip it out. He stood up and he banged her,
God
from
damn.
behind, just banged her in the neck or the shoulder blade, or you know what I'm saying,
Damn.
wherever, she unalive, it was sad. I feel sad about it,
Yeah,
even
for
talking
sure.
about it.
For sure. Yeah, that's definitely, man. That's definitely crazy. It's a crazy world we live in. I always like to remind my sisters and women in my family in general, um to try to keep their head on a swivel more than anybody around them. You know what I mean? They got to be on their p's and q's at all times. It's dangerous in this world for women right now. you
Right.
know so When you out in the public, man, keep your head on a swivel. If you ever witness any commotion, you know, or you see anyone acting ignorant or belligerent, make sure you move away from them people. Um, yeah, man, it just takes some awareness. That's what separates the survivors. Just being aware of your surroundings. Um, so yeah,
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to give you a little uh you could probably Google it and it's all over the internet, but I'm trying to give you a little picture of kind of how it happened. So he do that, and then he walks to the aisle, and the amount of blood that I saw come from this man dripping on the ground because she stayed in her seat. So unless that blood just flew, it looked like it was dripping from him. Like he probably hit her and it gushed fast. And then now it's dripping on him. So it's dripping. Or he cut himself. That's the only explanation. And then there's a lot of backlash on the internet of racial shit and everything. But there's backlash saying that, circling the people that were on the bus, like these guys did nothing. These guys did nothing. Now, if you're in the back of the bus, for one, you basically trapped down there in the back, unless you know how to open the joints up. I used to when I was younger. I could probably figure it out. But when I was younger, we was wild. So we opening the, we doing shit like that. I don't even know if you could do that on a bus no more. Maybe you can.
right.
And jump the fuck out. So basically you trap. This guy hit her and there's blood everywhere.
Right.
Okay. So, and then we get these regular civilians saying that, oh, these guys didn't do nothing. Like, what the fuck was they supposed to do?
I'll say this, man. Everybody Superman online or and when shit is on TV, you know what I mean? In real life, it's something called fight or flight. And when you see somebody who could potentially unalive you, just like they unalive somebody in front of you, most 100% of people 90% of people, they gonna choose flight. You know what I mean?
Right.
Protect themselves.
Yeah.
Make it back to your family. You know
And
what I
you don't
mean?
have nothing on you. I'm
You
just
don't got
guessing.
you don't
You
got
don't
nothing
have
on you. You
anything
see
on
that
you.
blood flying, 90% of people is gonna choose the flight. And of course the internet superheroes, they gonna get on there and say nobody helped, nobody did anything to him. Well, shit, is you really ready to put your life on the line for somebody, a stranger that you don't know? I mean, some people are, but in that moment, you seeing that blood everywhere, man, and you don't know what's going on. Um, superheroes ain't born every day. You know what I mean?
Right.
I say,
Yeah.
I'll say this, man. Like, uh, it should be mandatory. It should be mandatory for certain people in certain positions to be equipped to be able to defend or stop an altercation. Like bus drivers should be open should have gun licenses. You know what I mean? Teachers, they should be able to bring their weapons and have them in a lockbox just in case. You know, at the end of the day, when you got people like that with weapons, guns, knives, and nobody around them has any of these things to match their force, man, it's open party on everybody. And the police ain't gonna show up for a long time. So we
Yeah.
got to stay equipped
They're
and
not
ready.
showing up for a long ass time, bro.
We got to stay equipped and ready. We taking those public transportations, man. Carry. Make sure you got yours on you. You know, you might save your life, and you might could save somebody else's life. You know what I mean? Um, that's all I can say, man. We gotta tighten up as a community, and and make it be known it's okay for our people, especially our people. You know, we gotta let them know some things our people are so scarred on they don't even want to deal with it.
Hey, Cosmo. Hey,
Like
Cosmo Khan, Chief Aboriginal, HV. He said, we have cops. A teacher or a bus driver should not have a gun. Go
why not?
ahead. You
This
got
is
that.
America. You were able to carry. You have the right to bear arms. Why shouldn't a teacher or a bus driver have a gun? Why shouldn't they? You feel me? This will stop these mass shootings. Mass shooters, they don't like being shot back. Yeah, it's an open party when you can walk through the whole school and shoot everybody and then put your gun down and wait for the police to come. It'll keep on happening until the force is met with force. You know what I mean? You know, so, you know, everybody got their opinions, but this is America. You have the right to bear arms. It's in the Constitution. So why shouldn't people who have a good brain on their shoulders, you know what I mean, have good understanding of life, and why shouldn't they be able to carry a gun? You know what I mean? Shit, I carried from when I was 21 all the way until now. I'm 35. I never had to use it. I could always throw my hands up and use my knuckles if I needed to. And even if I took an L then, that didn't mean I had to let my emotions go there. You know what I mean? So there's people with level heads on their shoulders that can do these things the proper way. You know what I mean? And
The
it'll take away
teacher,
from these mass shooters.
the
You know what I mean?
teacher, I mean, I agree that is a little extreme.
Well, they're making it to where teachers can have a lockbox in their classroom now.
What
They
about an armed security guard? Because they got security. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know, you
shit.
know, some schools maybe
Put at
not,
least
but
one in every school. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You pay everything else. You pay for God. You pay for these people. You
Well,
pay.
no, they already got a security guard though. What you
Right.
do, you just up the level of training that you need to get that job. You know,
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
want that job, you got to be armed. You
Yeah.
got to know how to work the camera system, and you know, we got good camera system around here that is secured,
Exactly.
and at least they'll know that there is an
Right.
arm
There
to
is
shoot.
somebody that they're gonna have to deal with. There is gonna
Yeah,
be
I
some
don't think
consequences.
every teacher, because that could be, you know, I agree with
Yeah,
Cosmo.
somebody gonna have their opinions, but you know, at the end of the day, how many
Right.
school shootings has it been? How many teachers wish they would have brought their registered weapon to school that day when you got 30, 40 people being shot in the school and nobody can do nothing? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Well,
shit,
yeah,
at
what's the
least be
use
able
of
to.
having the weapons permit if you gonna spend, you know, 8 to 10 hours and you can't even have it on
You
you?
can't have it on you. Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm on both sides. You know,
You know,
I'm
I
on
mean, I
both
just, I
sides.
just feel like, hey, man, somebody who got, I know it from experience. If you can shoot at me and not get none coming back, you are comfortable. You know what I mean? If you
Right.
got something coming back your way, you know you're gonna be more likely to get gone. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, man, shoot, that's crazy though. Yeah, because everybody got an opinion on what or a story on what they would have done, you know. But at the end of the day, everybody wants to make it back to their family. Everybody wants to, you know, sure, they probably could have helped the lady. Yeah, helped her, you know, stop the bleeding or something. But as far as an armed man, there's nothing you can do with that if you're not armed neither.
Right. It's really difficult. It's you know, it's really difficult. Really difficult. Hey,
Yes.
RBG with the super stick. Appreciate you, my brother.
I never knew that I would do numbers like this. I make a move. I'm tryna win. Ain't tryna lose. I'm tryna win.
Yes, sir. Hey, we in here, man. We in here.
Yeah, I mean, they got to do something about it, you know. Maybe the military or military personnel in the school, in every school, maybe that's an answer. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, they already sending the military to the hoods to straighten up the gang members and the immigrants, you know what I mean? Um, why don't you straighten up the mass shooters? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why isn't a plague on them? Why isn't the government deploying um the military for the mass shooters? Why do they keep on coming out alive of the situation? Why can they put their hands up after they've shot 30 people and surrendered? It's all
I don't
for
know,
that stuff
man.
is just being shown in the media for a reason. So those people who are thinking about doing those things can say, hey man, I could kill 30 people and still live. They're not gonna kill me. Shoot. Most of the time I'm white, they ain't gonna shoot me unless I'm black.
Mm,
Shit.
mm, mm, mm. Well, yeah, just I
You
mean,
got a chance to
yeah,
you kill 30 people, you white, you got a chance to put your hands up and come out.
you unalive, you unalive them.
Man, they even see a
Yeah,
gun. You could have a gun tucked in your drawers. Your ass is dead when you black.
man, you don't have to have one at all. They just got
Real talk.
another guy. They even
Skittles
put
in your
his
backpack.
name,
It's over with.
got unalive, unarmed, you know.
Yep. It
It
happens all
happens. Definitely happens. But you gotta know where you at. One thing my mom always told me, man, you gotta know where you at, man.
Mhm.
Know where you at, brother. Some things have changed, but a lot of things haven't. No.
Yeah, I
Getting it
think
in
more
though.
light.
Nah, these issues, man.
I
That's
think more, they said they've been bringing more light to the supremacists who got shot. I seen more about that than this lady who was stabbed.
yeah. Yeah, but I mean, as far as the news goes, and because people were saying then that same guy, I believe he said that they're giving more to George Floyd than that lady too, you know. And that let me know that he's kind of disconnected with the whole issue
Yeah.
behind the George Floyd.
Yeah.
I mean, if you disconnected, like I saw a thread and they talking about there was like, what's the difference? They had her on one, they had George Floyd on the other
We ain't
side.
gonna
It
act
said,
like
what's
that.
the difference?
We ain't gonna act like we're not targeted and kill way more than the other people, the other race. You know what I mean? We're not gonna act like that.
Well, my thing, and I'm not trying to be insensitive, but if you're in America and an American loses their life, me personally, I would guess that that would be bigger news than a foreigner. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Now I'm sad at like for some reason this seeing that and just like I'm more sad about this than I've been about a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's where I would go first. Like
Yeah.
she wasn't an American.
Yeah.
So the way they cover it just might be a little different, or who comes out to protest about it, or who, you know what I'm saying, in which everybody should, because there's obviously we know the criminal justice system failed a lot of people. So,
Yeah. Well, I'm
I'm glad
always
I'm not a politician, bro. I'm
for sure.
glad.
I'm only gonna say, man, the world should do a better job on protecting the women. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's where my emotions come in right there. Is it's an innocent woman. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um,
I mean, there was, in all fairness, there was nothing anybody could have done to
for sure.
stop the attack.
The some
Nobody
things
seen it
happen so
coming.
quick. Some things
Yeah,
happen so
it
quick.
happened too quick.
There ain't no stopping it. There ain't no stopping it. You know.
Now, if she was just struggling and screaming and, you know, giving it a good fight and shit, and he just on her ass a little bit, and you could do something and grab him, and it's 2 or 3 of you,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
could see that.
yeah,
But
for
what
sure.
he did was some Blade type of shit. The movie, it was a movie shit, you know. So I be hearing dudes saying that they would have did something. I mean, if you would have had that blick, it still probably would have been too late at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because he already did what he did, and he was trying to leave the scene. He wasn't trying to just stay there, keep
Yeah,
hitting on her. You know what I'm saying? He
yeah,
bop bop. I think once, but maybe
yeah.
twice, maybe 2 or
Hey,
3 times. That's it.
hey,
You know,
I'm not rooting for the National Guard over there in Chicago to go against gang Hemi. Like that's not even a laughing topic for us, you know, as black people, because um we know what's gonna come come
Hemi's
with that.
back.
You know,
Hemi's back.
we know what's gonna come with that, with the National Guard going over there to Chicago and cracking down. It could be detrimental to our people once again. You know what I mean? And you know, like I said, so that ain't really for us. That's not. I'm not waiting on that. You know, that ain't something we just waiting on. You know, it is what it is. But you know, um, it just ain't something. It's just like when ICE is coming for our Latino brothers and sisters. I don't think that's a laughing matter neither. You know, it's on the same type of basis. Like,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
not. It's not,
everybody,
bro.
everybody who trying to act like they own this country aren't even the owners. You know, how you gonna tell these people they can't go? How you gonna round them up and send them to places they ain't even from? How you
Right.
gonna separate children from their families and from their mothers because you don't want them here? You know what I mean? So those are the type of things that just really just not like
Right.
something, especially if you're not our color, or if you're not uh, um, you know, what's the name? There's
But
something that
nobody
we
can
just
fight
don't
the
want to talk.
National Guard, dog.
Right,
Stop
right,
it.
right.
You know, I heard this a black brother in the military. He had a very, very compelling, like a warning cry to people that's trying to stir up this whole propaganda. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he was explaining the type of material, you know, the type of equipment that the military has, and you know, a lot of it I already know, but you know, he said basically if it wasn't for like the United Nations and you know all that with the ethical, you know, way of doing shit, you know what I'm saying? He said, man, they got enough artillery to just to level whole. What he said? He said level whole it was something crazy
I'm gonna
like
tell you.
a
I'm gonna say
in
this:
existence, like they'll level a whole,
playing field.
yeah, a whole species, bro.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah.
level a whole community, like a continent, bro.
Easy
You
work.
know?
They doing it all over the world. They dropping
Yeah, dog.
bombs on folks and keeping it pushing, and you never hear about it.
And then let's
So,
talk about the shit that I already know they got. Like they got drones that's fly up to your window. As soon as you walk
right.
by the window, bro, you're done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Drone
Real talk.
strikes.
Yeah. So
They
we're not
got they
prepared.
got
We're
little
not prepared.
robots that are gonna just go up your little apartment stairs, and they're gonna kick your fucking door in and look for you. It's gonna be a
Exactly.
little robot, you know, a
Exactly.
little tank
You know,
robot, dog.
so the big thing about that, we don't plan to beat them. We don't
You
plan to beat
can't
them with
beat
no.
them, bro.
We
That's a
don't
dumb
plan to beat them
comment.
with no weapons and all that. But the difference is, we got God on our side. You know what I mean? So that's what they're gonna have to deal with. So let them keep on tampering with them nuclear powers, dropping them on people. Let them keep on playing with black folks and people of color, and Latinos and all that stuff. Let them keep on, and they gonna meet. They gonna get what they got coming.
Well,
So
I
that's
was
how we.
talking to a guy.
Uh,
I was talking to a guy, and we was talking about the situation in Chicago. He lives in that region, you know, the Midwest. You know, he lives in that region, and we had an interesting conversation. Is it at a hand? Like, so, I know, I understand. Some of this shit is just propaganda. Like they're just putting it on, you know, the news a whole bunch of times so everybody can be scared. Kind of like this, the C-19 shit. You know, even though that was very serious, the amount of times you saw it on the news and all the every morning propaganda, and they got the death toll in the right corner and shit. You know what I'm saying? That ramped up, you know, a phobia. You know, it does. But how much of this is just propaganda when we look at the genocide that's going on in Chicago? You know what I'm saying? Like, what else could you do? Like me, I'm just asking a question. I want to know what the chat think. I want to know what you think. Like, what else could you do besides have some type of military? Because I'm sure there's some people that really want to live there and they don't want to be on some gang shit. You know, they don't want to be on that. So what do you do? Like they're having a one weekend, it's 27 people shot and you know, 7 died, and it's crazy.
mhm. Well, I look at it like this: the whole world is being corrupt everywhere. There's people dying. There's innocent people being killed by our own government.
Right.
Why? Why are you choosing to lock in and go after blacks and Latinos in gangs and these things when you should be going after these people who are the real terrorists? You know what I mean? So you know, there's not much that they could do about it. This is just how the world is going. You know, they could send in the troops. That was already planned. They've been having that plan. They're gonna use that as an excuse just to get in there and do what they do to our people and everybody around there. You know, um, just how when they wanna get us up out of certain places, they do these things. They did it in New Orleans with the hurricane and the levees. You know what I mean? They're gonna do it in Chicago to get rid of those people from that area, and they're gonna do it all over the world. You know, they're gonna try to keep us down, and they're gonna try to keep us out. You know, but that's all right. You know, we gonna always be all right. Like I said, we got God on our side, so none of that stuff is gonna work.
Yeah, I get that. I hear that
They've been trying to keep
wholeheartedly.
they've been trying to keep us down. It's the reason why we so resilient.
Yeah, but that's cool, but still we'll gun each other down like it's nothing. That's a
Yeah,
problem.
it is.
That's a problem, bro.
And we only gonna be judged by one person, one person for that. You know what I mean? It is a problem. It's a problem because they keep it going. You know what I mean? They keep on making the music blow up. This ignorant, the ones that talk about shoot 'em, bang, 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 bang. That's all that's gonna sell. They keep on. They keep it at us. This is what they want, so we can self destruct. You know what I mean? That's the plan. You know what I mean? So it's just is what it is. You know, they want us to self destruct, and if we don't do it fast enough, they're gonna send in they tactics. And that's always been the plan. Yes, sir. I don't got all the answers, but you know, I'm enlightened in certain areas. You know what I mean? And you know, I know there's always been a bigger plan for us and people that look like us. You know what I mean? And and we still shine in so many different ways. Much as they talk about the bad stuff that's going on in Chicago and all these other places, they they exited out the good stuff. They made it to where the good stuff, if you was doing too much good, you was gonna be destroyed, sabotaged. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, only the negativity gonna thrive. Only the That's what's thriving over there for those people in poverty. You know. So
Yeah, I get it, but the the fact that you can't build, and I get it, God and all this shit. I get it. You know, I get it. But at some point, God wants you to figure it out, you
exactly.
know. So
Exactly. You
for
got
us to just sit back and say God,
no, no, no. I
when
didn't.
when we
I
got
don't feel like that.
black people gunning each other down,
Yeah, no, I
right?
don't feel like that because they're gonna be judged for what they do too. Just like how white people and whoever else is causing harm on this planet, they're gonna be judged too. You know what I mean? Our people is not. We're not extinct from the judgment. You know what I mean? So yeah, they got some things they got to deal with, but you just got to go back and look at the system that was created, and then you kind of understand why these things are going on. You know?
Yeah, but once you understand it, that's when the turnaround is. It's not
Yeah.
just you keep understand, we understand, we understand, we understand. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Like, okay, so we understand. So now, so
For
what do
sure.
I do? Do I not kill my fucking brother that look just like me?
Well,
Or
shoot, we
do I
got we
still
got
keep that same
organizations in
energy?
Chicago. We got Mos Mariam out in Chicago, the
You
Nation of
said what?
Islam. I said we got organizations that was built to help strengthen the black in the color and the brothers and the sisters and everybody, strengthen them and give them a way of life, because like at the end of the day we was kind of released with nothing, with no understanding, no of our culture, our language, our way of life. We didn't get no rules, there was nothing. We was just let free and said survive. You know what I mean? So
Right.
we're the only people on this planet that don't have any of those things. You look at every other race or culture, they all got their culture, they all understand their own language, they all understand where they come from or where they or you know what I mean, they
Right.
all got an understanding of themselves. So like this plays a factor of why our people are stuck like that. You know what I mean? And there's people who striving in this world to get us right back on the right path. But at the end of the day, the people who are preventing that are going to always drag those people down. You know what I mean? So like I said, we got the Nation of Islam, the Mos Mariam in Chicago, and we got thousands and thousands of black people who have came together and start building farms together, start setting a doctrine of survival, and way to live in your home, and take care of your family, and to survive, and be self-sufficient, and not rely on um this world so much, you know so there's people right there in Chicago who are doing things like that, but those people are always going to be drugged down, because that's the way the system is designed. When they created Black Wall Street, well, what they do to it? That was one of the most successful things that our people had did.
Yeah,
Get
but
rid of it.
it's still the violence though. To me, that should
That's
be a
all we
simple
got. That's
thing.
all we can do. That's what I'm telling you, Buck City.
That
That's
should
all
be a
we can do.
simple
That's
thing, bro.
all they allow us to do.
The
You
fact
feel me?
that the fact that I can't even go somewhere and set up a store without the threat of my own community coming through trying to rob me or some shit
For sure.
is asinine, bro. That's
Yeah.
the lack of growth. That means that if you got a whole bunch of plants, but you don't have no secure place to plant them, right?
Right.
That's terrible, bro. That's not, look, we can't even live with each other. We can't even have multi-generational households. We can't even, like, we look down upon that type of shit. We can't,
Right.
you know, like, I don't live with my brothers. I got
Mhm.
fucking I got 7 other brothers and sisters. I don't live with none of them.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And like I say,
So
it all goes back
we,
to the same stuff. It all goes back, bro. It all
yeah,
goes back to the same stuff.
I
Because
hear it,
we were
but
turned against each other from day one. That was that was
I
what
know
they
that.
did.
I
They
know
turned
that.
us they turned us against each other. They made us fight each other. They made us whoop each other when one got out of line. They made us if we stole from Massa, that's a death sentence. But if we stole from each other, that's fine. We get away with that. You kill Massa, you and your family is gone. You kill one of them, your own people, oh, you good. You ain't got nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
So we still trying to come up out of it. You know what I mean?
Man.
And some of us are
I
like
think we're still
I'm
I
not
think
one of
we're
these people.
embracing
I'm
this
not
shit.
one of these people that we talking about. I'm not promoting no gang this. And I'm that
You
color.
know.
And I come from that same place. You not promoting no gang this. And you that color and you come from that same place. So there are people who are striving and there are people who not gonna go for certain things. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be us. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Well,
it's a
it's
lot
gotta
of ignorant
spread
folks.
somehow,
Oh,
you know.
it's a lot of ignorant
Maybe
folks.
I'm more eager to see it spread faster, you know,
Yeah.
because the education and you knowing
Mm-hmm.
what your people been through, that was one of the things that turned my mind around
Mm-hmm.
when it came to this shit. You know, when I
Yeah.
actually stopped looking at a brother that looked just like me, like my opposition. Like that day, that was because of the education and knowing
Mm-hmm.
your roots and you know all of that. So
For
I
sure.
think it got to be more push. I don't see it. It's not in my algorithm,
No, because
you
when you
know.
put these people in these communities and put them in poverty like this, it becomes bigger than just gang and color. It becomes you got people you lost over there. Now you got dead relatives, and now you got somebody, a man who a young boy who wants revenge and is gonna go through anything to get revenge because he doesn't understand right from wrong. You know what I mean? He don't understand that he'll be better off letting it go and living his life and building his family. That's all he know is go get retaliation from my brother. And those just was the that just was the that generation. That's what they got from the people who they call OGs. You know what I mean?
So you think putting the National Guard in there is a bad idea?
I know it's a bad idea, but it's been their idea. You know what I mean? They've been talking about sending the
So let's
National
say let's
Guard.
just hypothetical. Just hypothetical. So let's say they got 100 shootings a day, right?
Hmm.
And they put the National Guard in there.
Hmm.
And there's no confrontation between the people and the guards,
Hmm.
and people can go about their business and the gunshots just kind of
Sure,
stop.
sure, but that's not the plan. The plan is not to create a peaceful environment. We know that when you send the National Guard into a community who
You got to be an idiot to like, let's just hypothetical.
when you send the National Guard into a community who's ready to do whatever or die tomorrow, you're gonna have confrontation because the National Guard is gonna be pushy, even more
But
pushy than
see,
the police.
I think
You feel me?
me personally, I'm gonna be honest with you. And I know there are some guys that may feel like they want to go head up with the National Guard. I'm
Yeah.
sure there are. You know,
So,
there's some dudes in my
so
city that would too.
if it
Right.
happens once, it's gonna be a big thing. It's gonna be on national news, and that's all they need, right there. So now it's gonna be bigger. They're gonna be coming in your house. They're gonna be trying to collect your weapons, even if they legal. They're gonna be trying to get your guns and your ammunition. They're gonna be trying to do this, do that. They're gonna man, this is gonna happen all over the world. It's not just for Chicago. You know what I mean? So it's a bigger plan when it comes to the National Guards. They making it seem like it's about stopping the drug trafficking with the um across the border, and it's about the gangs. Nah, it's bigger than that. Tell you that much.
So we just leave it the way it is and just let motherfuckers just riddle each other away.
Yeah, yep.
Because at this point, um,
Let us let us start bringing back to the old ways. You know what I
well,
mean?
black women are unaliving 2,000 babies a day in America.
Wow.
2,000. Okay.
Wow.
And so when I started doing my studies, it was maybe 25 years ago, 20 years ago. And I think we were about 12% of the nation's population. And right now, I think we're probably like 13. Like we didn't go up at all, bro. And there was a time where blacks were populating at a rate where, you know, we were going at a rate to where we possibly by today should have been like half of America. You feel me? So that's a huge problem, right? What do we do? Just let that crack off for another 10 years? Because that's the size of the state of Washington and abortions alone, right? That could have been congressmen, all this other shit. You know, I'm just throwing a little bit of something up in the gumbo, you know. So I don't know if, you know, this area really needs that because it's nuts. Like, what else are we gonna do? Are we gonna go there? Because I seen Islam and those guys back in the Malcolm X days with guns and shit. You know what I'm saying? Are they gonna post up on these corners and shit? Like, who's gonna go into this
They don't.
community?
They don't give us the power to police our own community. If they did, things would be different. As
Well,
long as
it's
they can
open carry. It's
dictate.
concealed. You know, you got weapons, right? You open
Who do?
carry.
Who do?
I've been seeing it. It's open carry up here too.
Not
A
in
lot of
Chicago.
places.
Shit.
So it ain't no open carry out there.
What? Hell no, ain't no open carry in Chicago. Uh-uh. That's they gun laws are some of the worst.
Man,
Hell yeah. Um, yeah, man. I don't think it's for like I always say, I don't think it's for America to put their nose in. Sometimes, they always putting their nose in other people's business. You know what I mean? They don't worry about theirs, you know? Shit, yeah. They're killing 100 people in Chicago. But how many bombs they dropping on everybody in the world? Why don't they talk about that? Why don't they send the National Guard to stop their own people from doing that to innocent people? Highlight our shit, make our shit look crazy. Call us terrorists, call us a threat to society, call us everything in the book, but don't hold yourself accountable for nothing.
yeah. But that's where, but I don't never. I understand all the entrapments and everything, but I don't look to those same entrapments to try to fix something. I understand what's going on, and it's a numbers
There
game.
ain't no fixing it. The people who stood up to try to fix it for long enough, they done tried, and they've been blocked out so many different ways.
Well, we were.
So,
I think as
right.
a black community, we worried about the wrong shit. You know,
Definitely, definitely,
and the
definitely
simple
worried about the
fact,
wrong shit.
our two biggest problems is that we're too violent and we don't get along with each other,
Mm-hmm.
and we're deleting 2,000
Mm-hmm.
babies a day. If you stop
Sure.
those two problems right there, then
Mm-hmm.
you'll see a growing, thriving community, bro.
Yeah, you
It's
right
that
about that.
simple, bro. It's that simple.
You
We
right
can't
about that.
look, we can't look for other races or communities or motherfuckers that
No, it's
built
not.
prisons for
But
us to fix us.
no, hell no, you can't expect those people to fix nothing.
It ain't gonna
But
happen.
the way the world is set up, it's gonna take more than just
Well,
that at
we
this
need to
point.
be working on that because we'll never be able to set up the world. You say the way it's set up.
Oh yeah,
So unless
it'll never be
how are
the
we gonna
same.
be in position of setting some
This
shit up?
world, but Buck, this world gotta be destroyed.
No, it don't, bro.
I mean, it gotta be destroyed.
No,
It's
it
over
don't.
with.
You gotta
Nah, it's
keep
over with. They
destroying the
don't went too
people
far.
and keep
They don't
making
went too
them
far.
believe that they don't have the power. You know,
They don't went too far, Buck. I'm trying to tell you, man. It's over with.
nah, no, it's not. If somebody went this far, and let's say how many years, if somebody went that far, then another group can go far in the same amount of time or less.
Yeah.
You feel me?
And
So
everybody think that we got time. That's the big thing.
yeah, you don't. It's not about
Everybody
you.
think that we
It's not
got time.
about you though. It's
Yeah.
about your grandkids, the
Yeah.
legacy you to bring live behind.
They're gonna be
My
living
5
right in it.
sons. That's what it's about. Their grandkids and great grandkids. I'm trying to make a better place for them. This ain't
Yeah,
about me.
for sure.
This ain't got shit to do with me. I want it to be a better place. So when my sons want to go open up a barber shop or, whatever it is, they won't have to worry about the ops coming through, spinning the block and shit. You feel me? Over some bullshit. And that's the only motherfuckers you got on your rap sheet. You tough, but you
Mhm.
only harm blacks. So that's kind of odd to me, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Hey, to me too, Buck.
to me,
I don't
that's
just I
weird.
can't
That's
justify
weird
the
shit.
shit. I can't justify the shit. I can't act like that I'm okay with it. I'm saying the same thing to the young brothers. You know what I mean? Um, but like I say, it ain't for
Hell
us to
yeah.
judge. It ain't for us to judge each other, you know. Um, only thing is we can do individually try to put in the work to.
It ain't judge. It kind of ain't judging. It's we gotta fucking hold each other to a higher standard, bro. That's I think it's past judging.
No, I think it's cool when we hold each other to a higher standard, but when they try to hold us to a higher standard, that's where it gets tricky because they got more tricks to it. So this is where I spin back to talking about them sending the National Guard and stuff. You know what I mean? No, we don't never advocate for anything, any plans they got for us. You know what I mean? We advocate
Man,
for plans we got for ourselves. You know what I mean? They can't get us back on the right track. They never had nothing good in store for us.
but a lot of that, and we had good people and good leaders, but a lot of that was driven by people that were waiting for a handout, bro. Not saying everybody. We gotta get out of that mentality. Yeah, it was fucked up when we were very resilient and we've been through a lot of shit. You hold those scars, it makes you know that your lineage is proven and you move on. That's it. You know,
It's
because it doesn't matter. It's not gonna get
generational.
better. They don't give a fuck
Generational
about
trauma.
us, bro.
It's generational trauma. Generational. I'm sure you
Even
feel it.
reparations,
I'm sure you feel it in your DNA. You know what I mean? I'm sure you feel that trauma in your DNA. You know what I mean? So
right? But
we
you
all
still,
feel it.
it's
We all
still the
feel it.
energy that
Y'all
you
wake
put
up one
out.
day and might go look at our brother in traffic. He might cut us off. What the fuck, nigga? We might all get out the car one day and get on some black on black
Well,
violence.
everybody gonna do that. You gonna do that in road rage. That's it. That's I don't think that's man. I get in more road rage with ladies than anything. You know, it'd be a
Yeah,
chick talking shit.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. We gotta
so
all
road
just hold
rage
ourselves.
is
We gotta just
universal.
hold ourselves accountable, dude. Once we all take it and say, "Hey, there ain't nothing I'll do to there ain't nothing bad I would ever do to my brother or the brother across from me." We got to
Yeah.
get that demon mentality out of our souls.
Well, you
That
got to understand that
you
he's
know
a
what I mean?
king. If you don't see him as a king, then I think that's when the disconnect is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that's another fucking king. You
Yeah.
know, period. So you value that man and what he's trying to do, and he's trying to raise his family. You know, those are the guys you want to make it home, bro. Not do that and beef and home invasions and all of this dumb shit. You know, back in the day, I could see people doing shit like that because of the way everything was designed. And I ain't gonna lie, growing up, teenager days, I just didn't see the opportunity like there is today.
Yeah. Some of
And
those
maybe that
people,
was my fault. Maybe that was my fault.
some
You
of those
know,
people in those places is the same way today. They don't see a way out, but
yeah,
they don't see no light. How much?
yeah, yeah,
How you say? Oh, we could get on here. We can make money from the internet. We could put. Woo, woo. Some of those people in poverty, they don't see none of that. All they
right.
see is generational trauma, debt. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's good where we at right now. It's good. You know.
Nah, it ain't good though. You
Well,
know what I'm
shit,
saying? Because
it's
I
good
got that
enough.
same generational shit,
Yeah,
you know.
for sure, for
But
sure.
I'm not gonna let that. I'm gonna let that catapult me rather
Uh,
than bring me down. That's the
that's
difference.
respectable, and that's respectable.
I got that same shit.
Yep,
My uncle Butchie was a Black Panther, got unalived up here. You know what I'm saying?
yep, yep.
In the 80s,
That's
late
respectable.
70s.
So that's where the work got to be
God
done.
knows what he would have been.
Each individual got to put in that work for on self. You got to work on yourself. You got to get that trauma about you. You got to figure out ways to let that pain go. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
that's what I'm on,
it's gonna
because
take every
it's
individual to
more
get in that bag, and it's happening more and more. Don't get it twisted. Our people is waking up more and more. It's
well,
like
like I said,
some of
because
them was sleep.
I study animals, I study other people.
Yep.
I study this nightclub life shit. And you go to an Asian club, white club, because I got a real diverse area. I live in a very diverse area. So it ain't never no problems. Nobody's never fighting, bro.
Hmm.
Bro, you gotta look at that, dog. I understand if you never did that, you never went to this other group, and I ain't saying that it don't happen. We could go Google some shit and it happens. But when you go to Black functions, it's just too much, dog. It's like you're gonna go to this club, dog. You know that you're gonna have to have some type of skills to defuse shit. And we gotta be, people that, we're diffusing shit, bro. We're not fighting each other, bro. Like, you gotta be on code when you go places, man. I think it's gotta be more of that too, man. And then, like I said, 2,000 a day. 10 years, that's the state of Washington. Washington got like 8 million people. You know, 10 years, that's the state of Washington. I did the math.
You said they was doing abortion rates at that?
That's what we're doing, bro. That's what we've been doing. We're doing that. That's what we're doing. Look that shit up. Yeah. It's probably higher now. You know, so, and we got to look at that. That's more than even what we're talking about, the genocide and shit. They're not killing, unaliving 2,000 a day.
Right.
The police ain't doing that. You see what I'm saying? If the police was doing that, we'll be scared straight. If we heard that just 2,000 people just unalived by the police, we would be packing up, leaving this motherfucker.
Sure.
Okay?
For sure.
So that's not the big problem. It's not. The big problem is that when we see each other, it could be 100 people in a room, and there could be 2 black dudes on the other side of the room. You automatically facial recognition try to identify that motherfucker on the other side of the room before you look at any other one of these motherfuckers.
True.
That's the problem.
We got that problem for sure.
That's the fucking problem, bro.
Yeah.
If we can solve those 2 problems,
we could be better as a people.
Nobody could fuck with us.
We could be better as a people, for sure. Love thy brother, man.
Yeah, man. Fuck all that, man.
But at the same time, it's like we got to make sure that we not being hypocrites. We got to live that way we got to live that life all the way through if that's what we claim a little bit.
Yeah. But let's say you
can easily be a statistic.
I got you right here though. I got you right here. Okay, check this out. So let's say I'm talking this shit right now, and I've been talking this shit for 5 years. Just love each other, my brother, the king. You know, I've been talking all this for 5 years, and then I just crash out, right?
Yeah.
With me and my own brother, crash out, right? And does that mean that I can't talk about uplifting no more?
No, I wouldn't.
You see what I'm saying? So even if you a hypocrite, you still supposed to do the right thing.
Right. But my point, my message is that the way it's going to change is that the people who preach about it has got to stand on it 100%, and everybody who's taking that route, you got to stand on 100%, because I find myself, I know you find yourself, we'll get on these on here just to do a regular podcast online. Half of these people we don't know. The right person go against you, which is he's gonna be most likely a brother to look like you. If we bump into one of them on the streets, we're gonna be ready to put our hands on them. We ain't never met this person in our life. We could always choose peace. But because they got on the internet bad-mouthing us and doing we're going to be ready to put our hands on them in the street.
I don't know, bro. I don't know if I actually take this shit seriously like this.
I know some people that if you ran into them, you going to slap upside the motherfucking head.
Well, me, see, I'm a little different. You know, I'll look at them and just kind of, if I could see it's a checkmate, like, yeah, look at you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you talking all that shit, man. Yeah,
right.
You know, but then I might not do shit to you though. I just let you know, like,
what if he like, what's up? What if he on that time? You gonna turn down the fade?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Jake Paul didn't turn down no fade.
Now you got the public altercation. You
But
might go
Jake
to
Paul
you
didn't
might
turn
go to
down a
punch.
fade.
You might go punch old boy in the mouth. He might up blicky on you. Bang. Do something to you right there.
Yeah,
Now we
it can
got black
happen.
on black violence, more black on black violence.
That's true.
So
But then on the other foot, okay, let's say we met up and it was that same energy, and then we was like, all right, fuck it, we're gonna do a boxing gym and we're gonna do it like
exactly.
this.
Come on. Come on.
What about that?
Hey, that's the way men handle things.
You see what I'm
And
saying?
that translates to all colors and all
You
races.
know,
You know what I mean?
I do go off on here, but I'm also, this is,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I
I
know
don't
me,
take none
like
of these
I don't
dudes
take too much
seriously, man, that I've been
disrespect
arguing with, man. I
face to
hope they don't
face.
think like, oh, Buck City's about to cut. Like, bro, I'm not thinking about you at all,
Yeah.
dog. That's what I'm saying. Like, even my
I
worst
always
dude
try
on
to
here.
choose peace. I always try to choose peace. You know what I mean? It's even been I done been to like people done said things to me, and I done went to dog shows and bumped into them, and that
Right.
energy that they had
You could
online
have
ain't
packed
there
him
no
out,
more.
but you
You know what I
didn't.
mean? You
You
know,
feel me? That don't
because
make you a sucker because you
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
pack him out.
exactly. You know what I mean? I choose peace, but if I don't do well with disrespect neither, so it's something I need to work on. If somebody, anytime I feel like somebody disrespect me face to face, especially if they get in my bubble, it's on and popping. You know, so it's something that we got to just hold ourselves accountable to. You know what I mean? All the way through.
But I think the
You know what I mean?
disrespect thing works hand in hand. If I'm at a grocery store and it's a white dude, he gets in my bubble, like, bro, I'm hitting him too. Like that. I think the disrespect thing, that
Well,
just kind of
I think
goes
you're gonna
hand
be
in hand.
more. I think you're gonna be more reluctant to hit that white man
Okay,
because
so let's say a
you know
motherfucker
you're
was
going.
talking shit on the internet and I seen him at the grocery store. I'm just in this town or something sliding through. I see him at the grocery store, but he acknowledged me. He kind of, he gave me my respect, right? To me, now, if he just leaves and jump back on the internet, so I'd be like, damn, I maybe should have smacked him in the back of the head or something. But if you see what I'm saying? It's
But yeah,
still a
but
level of respect that now, or he might be like, man, I'll just be on the internet fucking around, bro.
this is
Like
the
I ain't
problem, though. This is the problem, Buck. We gonna be more reluctant to slap that white man inside that grocery store because he's white and we know he gonna
well,
call
no,
the
no,
police
no,
on.
no. Let's say it's a black dude that
All right,
disrespect me in the grocery store and gets in my bubble. Let's say it's
we
a
gonna most
Chinese guy
likely
that gets in it.
be willing to handle him with violence more because we know 9 times out of 10 we not gonna call the police on each other. Somebody else might call the police. When police get there, most of us is just gonna
I'm not
let it
gonna
go
shoot this guy.
because it's a simple
I'm not
altercation.
I'm not gonna shoot this dude unless he makes a threatening move toward me.
Yeah,
But if
yeah,
it's just a mutual fight
yeah.
and he punched me up a few times, I gotta get in there and scratch a little bit just to get it my couple licks in, bro. That's to me, that's mutual combat, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't see a face when it comes to that. Like
Yeah.
that's just like mutual
Our
respect shit.
age group got that, but these young guys, they don't want to get a scratch on the chin, bro. They
Right.
don't want that.
That's why in the real, cause I ain't gonna even lie, act like I just run around on some Indiana Jones shit. But to make it to my age, it's been a lot of times when I had to not, show my street shit. Just, be cool. You know what I'm saying? Be cool. Like I went to the comedy club the other night with my lady. And we stepped out and shit. And I went to the top shelf and got a little bit of that cologne up there, not the middle shelf. I had to get the few that was at the top, spray some of that shit on, you know what I'm saying? And stepped out. And there might have been some people that's like, okay, yeah, this motherfucker right here, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, nobody had to know my gangster up in there. Nobody. Just I was a cool guy. hold the door, you know, speak polite, you know what I'm saying? You know, excuse me, brother, you know, shit like that. Cool guy, cool demeanor. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. That's smooth. That's what gangster really is. Because I got a family to go after, to go home to. You feel me? I'm doing my thing. I ain't let my kids be in gangs and shit. You know, they don't got a bunch of pictures when they throwing up gang signs with their friends and shit. You know, they're not doing none of that shit. You know, I'm not saying that they won't never do that, but right now, that's not allowed in my household. We don't glorify that shit.
You
I
better
let
keep that
them know.
young.
Like they
You
see
better
me when
keep
I
that
go
young boy
places.
out his ears.
Well, my kids, they tell me, they like, you know, like, damn, dad knows everybody. Like when we go to the town and shit, we go to basketball games and, you know, different shit. Like, damn, dad knows everybody. And it's different type of people that knows dad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I let them know that's when I was that some people will glorify that shit. But that's when I was at my lowest point. Right? Because at that point, I had anger toward people that looked just like me. So I wasn't free. But now that it's like I argue with it, you know, we get Eric Miller on here. You know, I go at anybody, dog. It's just the fucked up thing that my own people just go at me. You know, I go at anybody on this YouTube shit. You know, they think I go at Garner too much. You know, like, man, lay off Garner. You know, he doesn't care about you. He could buy you. And, you know, I get all these comments. You know, I don't, you know, this is just entertainment for me to do my thing. It's like I'm in the studio, just like back in the day. You know,
Real
same
talk.
therapeutic shit, blowing my little gas.
Hey
I
man,
just
if you got the
found a souped up way
opportunity,
to
man,
spend my
protect them.
time.
Protect them women, man. If you got the opportunity, if you see them women being harassed and
Yeah,
you know what I mean, beat up in the community, make sure
yeah,
you
yeah,
step in and intervene. You know what I
yeah.
mean. Rest in
It's
peace to the lady
automatic
who passed.
defuse, you
You
know,
know,
when it comes to women and
you know,
people, period. I don't think you
right?
should get in this shit because you never know. You get in it, motherfucker, get to shooting. But
Exactly.
use your judgment. If there's a situation that can be diffused, rather if you
Yeah.
know these people or
Yeah.
whatever it is, you know, you can step in there. You can save somebody's life, bro.
You can
And
save somebody's
and on
life.
the other foot, somebody might show you some grace, right?
Yeah.
That's why I stall people out, because I remember the day when a motherfucker gave me some grace, right?
Mhm.
You know, I'm at one of my boys. This is way once upon a time, you know, and you know, I ain't seen my partner in a long time, you know, and a lot of, you know, you go to the hood after, you know, a lot of shit done happen, and you don't know where everybody who's been running with who. So I go in my partner's house, I'm chilling. I leave a oot wop in the car. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even tripping. You know, I'm at my boys. So, boom. A dude I grew up with, but now he's the op, right? Walks in. And he's like, man, why so-and-so shoot me, man? Why so-and-so shoot me, dog? You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at him, I'm like, yeah, I don't fucking know. Like, what the fuck you mean? Fuck you mean? Why the so-and-so shoot you? You know? My hand, you know, my finger's gone, you know what I'm saying? He pulls out the 4.5. You know, I love you, man. You know what I'm saying? We grew up together. We, you know, all this shit, you know what I'm saying? This, you know. Long story short, he showed me grace. He could have killed me right there. I wouldn't be here to talk to you guys right now about none of this shit. These dogs are none of this shit. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to show other people grace. There done been times my brother, he jump on here. I done stopped him from packing out 20 people, you know, literally like 20 motherfuckers that they should be sending me Christmas cards and shit every year. You know, I stopped you from getting packed out at probably one of the biggest event that you was having in your life. And I just, nah, man, nah. It's all it takes. Nah, bro. Man, leave him alone, bro. Just think about the future. Tell him something that'll make him think about the fucking future. That's the tactic, you know, that you use. Nah, man, we ain't on that. Man, we already half of 1% of the wealth. Why are we gonna kill each other, man? Let them know what the fuck it really is. Come on, man. You know they built them fucking prisons for us anyway. Man, why you gonna shoot that man and go to prison? Use your brain. You got a daughter. You know, you got to think fast when you're trying to save a community, right? Because ain't nobody gonna give us no handout. We heard what everybody said about the reparations and shit. And yeah, I think we're owed it. But we can't sit back looking for a handout. We got to be proactive. If you meet my son, I want you guys to meet my sons one day. These are some of the most hybrid vigor motherfuckers I ever met. They're a better version of me and their mom. You know, and it's the most amazing shit. You know, and they're the most respectful kids in the whole fucking family. You know, they're the most, you know, do they do their shit? Yeah, they pop it. I like to let my kids pop it at the house. That way, you won't have the urge to act an ass in the streets, right? I'm teaching you. This is parenting. I've been a parent. My daughter was born the same year Miss Jade was born. So I became a father the same year, the very next month. You know, so I've been fathering just as long as, you know, I call that my first official breeding that I really built from and built a lineage and a bloodline off of. You know what I'm saying? So I count that as a special day, you know. But
Oh, look how you tie back into that lineage. Oh,
yeah, no, for sure. For sure. But it's about raising up good people, respectful people, smart people. There's nothing wrong with making your kid read books, dog, and put that tablet down for a second, or teaching them how to do something, agriculture, different things.
right.
You know, how to start fires and, you know, watch National Geographics with them and shit. You know,
Look,
open up
if
their
you
shit, let them hear some of these debates.
if
You
you
know,
if every kid in the world had a you around them, man, they would grow up with a lot of those qualities. You feel me? The
man.
problem is they don't have no men around them, and,
Right.
and they don't have nobody to teach them about these type of things. You know what I mean? Not nobody who's respectable. You know, the men is teaching them about ignorance. You know,
Right.
so that's where it's getting tricky at. You know, right there, in a sense, and you know, all those things. It's a great time of awakening, man. Our people are waking up. People are
Right.
just waking up and starting to just see the bigger picture, you
Yeah,
know.
we're, you know, if
And
we're gonna be able to survive in this country, we have to get it together.
right, you
We
know,
got to, bro.
they're able to
Because
see a.
the bottom of the class, you're at the bottom class. That's not fun.
uh,
That's not gonna be fun. That's the motherfucker that gets pushed over in any society. It's not pointing the finger or whatever. It's the fact that if black people are half of 1% of the wealth, like get the calculator out. If they're half of 1% of the wealth, look at it like a pizza. We're having a party and we're ordering pizza. And we say, hey, raise your hand if you want pepperoni. People raise their hand. Raise your hand if you want this. Raise your hand if you want onions. You raising your hand, but you only putting up a half a penny on the pizza, right? You don't have no fucking say so. You need to understand that. It's the same way in the dope game, same way in any game. You don't have no say so, bro.
Let's just
If
take
you're
it to the
half
family.
of 1%.
Let's take it to the family aspect when it comes to raising the next generation, man. Because, like I said, a lot of them are growing up with those type of figures that could teach them positive things. And as a family, we're not coming together anymore. We're not given any rules to go off of. We're not given any morals of ethic to go off of. So as time passes and these kids are growing up, they don't have no understanding of the things that we got understanding of. Like our grandma expected of us. We couldn't embarrass our families. We couldn't, you know what I mean, go out there and do stuff. But all those things are being lost because nobody is saying these things to the youth anymore. Not even the OGs in the family that are getting out. They're not going back because they don't want to deal with the with the drama that the family brings and the lack of understanding. They're not going back over there no more like that. You know what I mean? To say these
Right.
things or to have family meetings so things can be understood. You know? Um so I think as family, we got to get back to that. We got to get back to calling our family together and saying, "Hey, we need to meet on this time and we need to have a discussion about certain things and codes of ethics and ways that we should be moving in our community and the morals that we need to uphold as a family, you know."
Right.
So so I think it kind of starts there, right there in the home.
Definitely. That's where you're gonna have the most influence over the home, you know. That's for sure. But nah, we could get there, man. We could get there, man. Stop the bleeding. It's all. Just stop the bleeding, you know. As resilient as we are as tearing down a community, whereas we can be resilient at building it up. We don't know what will happen if we go in the positive direction because we're always going in a negative direction. So stop the bleeding first. That's what the doctor's gonna tell you. If you're shot or anything, they're not gonna just start working on you. They're gonna stop the bleeding first. Okay, that's just logic, bro. I mean, I don't know what else to say, but they had to stop the bleeding first. Then you can make progress. That's abortion, and they could ban me or whatever for saying that. But that's a problem. It's a problem. That's why the Mexicans they're gonna have a great advantage. That's what this whole shit is about, because a lot of them don't believe in abortion. It's a lot of Catholic religion.
All right, don't say that word
So
no more. No, I'm
you
just
say what?
playing. I said, all right, don't say that word no more. No, I was just playing.
Oh shit. I sparked up. I ain't trying to spark nothing. I usually don't get on these topics, but I just wanted to, make my stance about the whole situation and with the lady, because it's all
Respectfully.
over. And people think they're tough guys, like they would have did something. I don't know what I would have done. Like, I already got a strike. Like 9 times out of 10, if I do anything, they're gonna, especially me, they're gonna be like, yeah, dog, arrested for dog fighting, and shot a man, and what I'm saying, on a bus, and like like I just wouldn't get the end of it. I just wouldn't get the end of it, bro.
Man, I
You
don't
know,
think nobody should ever try to be no superhero in those type of cases. If you don't got no weapon and you can't disarm somebody, you got to get out the way. If a mass shooter comes through shooting, you can't worry about nobody but you and your family. You know what I mean? You can't be no superhero without no real cape. And that's my
you gotta
stance on
be.
that.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then you don't know, does
No.
he know her or anything?
Mhm.
You didn't really see what happened. You see the blood after a while, but from what I saw, it was real quick. It was just like bloop bloop,
Mhm.
and then he just walked from behind her, and she was just like scared in the seat. I thought she got smacked. I watched it twice. I thought she got slapped.
Mm-hmm.
And then I turned, I didn't even pay no attention to it. And then you know how social media it is. They're gonna ramp it up even more. So now this is an issue. So me, I'm a blogger. So even though I ain't been really jumping on all this shit like I should, I had to dig into it. There was enough going on in my ear that I had to look at this. Like, wait a minute, he stabbed her? Huh? I didn't see that.
No,
And then I
half the
looked
time you
at
don't.
it,
When people stab
and
people, don't nobody know.
it was brutal, bro. It was. She had a black shirt on, like she was just like in the seat. But I think once dude left, and I didn't see that. Maybe they did come and help her at that point. Maybe, some people just got off the bus. When you're always looked at as the criminal, bro, like they probably gonna interrogate me. You always looked at as the criminal, man. I don't even want none of this blood on me at all.
I like to mind my business.
Yeah.
I will protect women, but anything else, I mind my business.
Yeah, it's kind of like, damn, damn if you do, damn if you don't, man. But God bless her heart. I heard Elon Musk donated $1 million for murals, and so you guys will probably be getting a mural somewhere in your neighborhood. Somebody's gonna see one, I'm sure, if they don't already have one up. This is a huge deal. The president, what he put out on it, tweeted or whatever message he put out on it, I think he had a press on it, and he said that they need a quick trial with the death penalty being the only. I can't remember exactly what word he used, but basically the death penalty is the only option. Like it's only one option. Quick trial. You clearly see this dude on camera doing this shit. Like there's no way he can beat this. There's no way, and it's sad. I don't know if he was a dad or, I don't know. I don't know how he was raised, mental issues, different things. And we got those issues. We got to take care of that. You got to understand, if one of your children have mental issues, that's your responsibility as a parent. So, hey, man, bad day in America, man. But we still got light at the end of the tunnel, man. People still out getting it. We can't stop.
Yes, sir. Let's get into this lineage segment.
Yes, sir. Hey, preservation. Okay. Talk about it. Talk about the lineage. Talk about, open it up. I got mine off about that.
Okay. Man. Preservation of a line of dogs. That's what we're gonna hit it on.
Yeah, go ahead. Or the lineage or whatever.
Okay.
Whatever you want to talk about. I mean,
Yeah.
we just talked about preservation on
Mhm.
you see somebody bludgeoned and you don't know what the hell happened,
Mhm.
a lot of times you're gonna stay your ass the fuck up out of it. You don't know. This guy might do a backflip and do, you know what I'm saying? So
Preserve yourself.
just whatever you want to take it, man. We just chop it up.
No, like I wanna say about the preservation aspect is everyone who's been known to do it over time. I think it just gets a little harder and harder, to preserve certain lines and stuff. So a lot of people see those dogs once they get real tight, and most of the time they're not performing in in the manner that they once performed. Once they start getting that tight, inbreedings and stuff like that. So in most people's minds, they'll be like, "Oh, forget this. It ain't working no more," you know, and they'll forget to preserve it or move on to something that they seen from someone else who might be working a little bit better, you know. So sometimes if those lines were working at one time and they were doing really well for you, and you just kept on breeding them a little tighter, you got to know to expect a little fall off somewhere
Right, right.
when it comes to some trait, you know. So um, throw a little something different in there, see what you're working with. I always like to bring the best into my tightly preserved dogs. You know, I want to bring the best into them every time, and I'm not talking about the best on paper. You know, uh, great performing dogs that like to work, like to perform, like to prepare for those ADBA shows, those wall climbs, those weight pulls. Those are the type of dogs that you want to bring into your program. You know, you want to add to those pure family of dogs. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So preservation could be hard, but stick to it. Um, Stick to it, and you'll find greatness a little later. I promise you. It worked for me. You know, I stuck with a family of dogs. I preserved it over the years. I preserved it, and then I put heat on top of it, and I got nothing but heat. You know,
Right,
so
right. Yeah,
preservation is important. You know, um, preservation, sticking to something. You know what I mean? Or putting it to the side so it can't, so you can have it later. You know, all those dogs that y'all see, that y'all that y'all see are one in a lifetime dogs. Man, there should be no reason why you don't go get some semen pool. You know what I mean? It'll
right,
help
right.
preserve these dogs for the future. You know, go get your semen pool, put it up. Those females, take extra care of them and keep them around for a long time till they 13, 14 years old. Put them up in
Mm-hmm.
them good old brood pens so they're safe. You know what I mean? Preserve them. Because when you get that last breeding off of them at 7, 8 years old, you got history in those dogs. You know what I mean? And they sometimes that history always repeats itself. You know what I mean? So if they were good back then, they're gonna be good again. Stick to them.
That's a fact, man. It's getting down. For the as far as the Michael Myers stock goes, a lot of the direct kids are getting up there in age. So Hannibal is one of them that's gonna be we're gonna be trying to get a whole lot of action out of. He's pushing uh I think he's I think he's pushing 9 years old. And you just can't be so sure about everything when the dogs get older. You can't be sure for them when they're young either. But we're looking to breed him a number of times and dibble and dabble. Keep a little of these, a couple of those, and that way we can have a better idea of which ones are the best, to move forward with. It's not like we're just gonna breed them one time. Okay, that's the Hannibal, that's the replacement. It just don't work like that, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes I gotta breed him. At this point, he 9 years old. I'm probably trying to breed him 4, 5 times. Just on some real shit
Right.
because I feel that it takes that much time and the observation to be able to pick out a premium
Mhm.
specimen.
Right.
you know, like a Picasso when you kiss it with your hand. Mwah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, that's the type of feeling I want. I want you to,
Yeah.
you know, when you're cooking with the seasoning, you turn your hand like a swan.
Right.
And you just drop a little bit of that little seasoning on there. You know,
I
I want
like
them
it.
to be perfect. I want it to be magnificent.
Right. I like to think of it like this, but even if it ain't true, those old those old dogs are like, we'll put it like towards like, okay, when you were a young parent, if you were ever a young parent, you had kids at a young age, your your kids gonna turn out a little different than the kids that you had when you were in your older years. You know what I mean? uh, I like to think of that with the old. Think of that like with the old dogs. Like I've always had great success using my old dogs, my old blood, my back with the back with some of the new stuff that I had. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So 8 years old is perfect age to start doing those breedings. 5, 6, 7, 8 breedings here is get them gone now. Bring them on, put them on those talented ones that you watch coming up. You know what I mean? And you're gonna have great success with that. You know what I mean? Just because I feel like as they get older, like I had a brood female. She had puppies after 2 years old, her first time, and she was a great mom. You know, woo woo. But as she started getting in her older years, 7 and 8, and I was having those litters, she would teach her puppies so much more because she had experience. You know what I mean? So her puppies they would be acting just like her. Whatever she did, that's what they would do. And so I would let them watch her, whether it was work, whatever, you know. And she was a good teacher for me in an older age, you know, for my young pups. You know, so preserving those dogs are important. Sometimes having those young knuckleheads are okay and stuff, but keeping those young dogs on those older dogs on your yard, um, you know, and treating them good. That's real. That's real. That's real. Cherish that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's what's up. That's what's up. You definitely gotta, you know, I think it gives it a little genetic diversity when you cross that old with that new. Um,
Yeah.
because there's a lot going on with genetics and a lot of things captured and a lot of untold mysteries.
You ever heard somebody say, "Man, that dog remind me of them old dogs that we used to have back in."
Right, right.
Like, yeah, yeah, that's what you're looking at. That's what you're looking at. You know, those traits being brought back to the front is important. I always like to say that the dogs from back in the day were a little bit more durable than our dogs today, for sure. I'll say that.
You think so? You
uh,
think
just
that?
even when I was a kid, like just watching those dogs, they could do stuff that our dogs wouldn't even come close to doing. Like,
Really?
man, I used to run some of my dogs in the 100-degree heat on concrete. They paws will be fine. They, you know what I mean? They, from here all the way to who knows where. You know what I mean? Like, some of these dogs today, they can't. They ain't doing that.
I don't
You get them. You
know.
get
I
them.
don't
You get them.
know. That's a
You get
good
them in.
debate
You
right
you
there.
get them in the first few weeks.
So
They
you
got
don't think
so.
the dogs get better?
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say they didn't get better. I say they were. I think overall they were more durable back then. Yeah, just a little durable. I think. I don't know what it is, but you get some durable ones, but I think a lot of people is lacking that durability today.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be happening. It could be happening. It could be. I can't argue that. I think they're getting better
Yeah.
tremendously though.
Just think
I think
about
you
what you.
still got your dogs that were good. They were
Yeah.
really good dogs, but even just like there was a lot of dog in the history of this game. There's
Hmm.
been a lot of dog men that really didn't have complete dogs and they still competed with everybody.
Hmm.
There's a lot of W's against dogs that they weren't complete dogs. They were one dimensional. They were, I mean, you read the reports, this dog, that's all he wanted was this and blah, blah, blah. You read all the reports and all the stories that everybody got, and
Yeah.
then to eventually even them start breeding shit or late in their career, they make this outcross or do something, and then they get a complete dog,
Mhm. Right.
or do
Hard to
something.
finish. Hard to finish hit him. He said people have got less durable, so it only makes sense that their animals are less durable. I
Mm,
say this. I say the same. You know what I mean?
mm.
We used to get through winters, man. On through winters and being cold as when we was young, and they couldn't go through nothing today. if they don't got no if they don't got no cereal when they wake up, they going
Yeah,
through
man, I don't
withdrawal.
know, man. I mean, it was tough. We was tough, but shit, these young dudes, man, they even look at the physicality of the athletes, because that's a barometer that we all we can actually look at. Because I don't know if your son is tough or my son. We don't know if they were tougher than us.
Right.
But football, we can
Mhm.
look at that, and you can see just some of the freakish athletes that they have. Like
Mhm.
nowadays, they got guys that are 250 pounds running
Right.
fucking 4.4s and shit.
Right.
6 fucking
Yeah.
2 and shit,
I think
six
that's I
four.
think another thing is the greatness of today is being more attributed to being able to like watch and see things
Well,
to
okay,
be able
so
to
a
watch
bunch
and
of
see
stuff that
things.
we couldn't see back then.
Oh, it was a lot of things that we weren't subject to seeing or understanding. You know, nowadays these kids got great examples in front of them more. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Um,
Just like the
so
dog man, just like the dogs and the dog man and the breeding and
yeah,
and
for
all of
sure,
that.
for sure. You're right about that.
We could get some dog man up here. Been a lot of dudes that say the dogs have gotten better. So
Before
there's
the
dudes that
internet,
say it haven't,
before the
but
internet,
there's a
you
lot of dudes
nobody
that
knew
said
about
it
you.
have.
Before the internet, nobody knew about your dogs. You was hoping to get maybe an ad in the magazine or something like that. You know what I mean? That was the only way they was gonna be able to see your stuff. You know what I mean? So they could have an example or something to go by on,
Well, it was
what
more
they
word of
wanted.
mouth. That's what it was. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
people knew. It was just
Hmm.
word of mouth.
Right.
That shit traveled far. It didn't go as fast as today. I could text 30 people in fucking 1 minute,
Yeah. Yeah, they
So it,
do.
it doesn't travel as fast as
The
today.
reason why I say less durable is just I just feel like when I was younger, we would do more with our dogs. We would put our dogs through more and stuff like that. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
They would stand up under all type of circumstances that we put against them. You know,
Yeah.
nowadays you leave a dog outside for one day, he might not make without no water. He might not make
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah, I got you. Nah, back in the day.
We're not doing nothing like that. All of our dogs got
Yeah,
big
yeah, yeah,
buckets of
yeah. I
water
got
and
you.
stuff.
I
But
got
I'm
you.
just,
So
yeah, that's just in that
yeah, like a
incident
dog
kind
will
of,
fuck around and get sick or something.
oh, man.
But you changed regions though,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
So because I be annoyed about like that down south. I give those dudes, I ain't gonna lie. Well, husbandry, I give them you at least get a couple notch of a advantage, because I think you're at a disadvantage down there.
Mm-hmm.
I think you are. I mean, any yard can spoil. It could get bad, the conditions, and you could get diseases and parvo, and everything could wipe you out
You gotta really
anywhere.
be on it on this region if you want to have
That's
healthy
what I'm.
dogs.
That's what the part I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, if you want to have healthy dogs, you got to be on everything, and you can't just do it once a year. You got to do it 6 times a year. You got to stay on everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Stay on everything.
Yeah, that part.
All
That
the
part.
preventatives. You know.
Yeah. So I would I would have get, hopefully I could get 11, 12 good ones, sons, off of Hannibal, so I can have them around and be able to check out the texture and see the attitude, and you get to
Hmm.
kind of analyze it a little bit more than just, let's say you do a breeding and you got one puppy and then he comes out, because I look at that, I really do. It's like, okay, so he just off of this dog, and then he was the only son that he made, so now he's taking this one, like, okay, so now it goes in my head, because I'm a thinker, and I'll be like, well, is he really good, or did he just use him just because that was the only son off of this? I actually think about that. Like, was he really a good dog? Is this really the trait? Like, is he following the blueprint? That's why I don't like too many hands in my pedigree. I want to, have a little bit, maybe a little bit of gray area in between the source and me,
Yeah.
maybe, but I don't want it to just go from the source to him to him to him to him and
Yeah.
then me.
And
I
where's the
just,
understanding?
yeah, because I just don't, I can't talk to them guy. Hey man, what did you think about what this? What did you get? Okay, they were like, they should have did this, and he bred it to that. I told him that would be a good breed, and he
Oh,
made the breed, and he gave me one. They
you
were
get to
good.
hear about all
You
the
know,
fisherman stories.
yeah, exactly, exactly,
Yeah, we cut them fisherman stories out because we just do the work ourselves. You know what
exactly.
I mean? And
Yeah,
that's important about that's one of the most important thing when you're talking about preservation. You know, when you preserving something, you're doing the work yourself. You're going through those dogs and you're experiencing them on every level. You know what I
so
mean?
you know what you're preserving.
Exactly.
You might just be preserving a piece of paper, which is
Yeah.
what a lot of people do. But
Yeah. And it's
I
not
don't
too
know if
late.
you want to do
Shit,
that.
get rid of it. Go a different route. When you're doing that too much, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not too late. It's not too late for you. It's all right. You can start over if you got to, you
So
know.
man, we had a myth buster yesterday, man. I don't know if you checked it out or you saw it, what was your stance on that Frisco dog? And look it, hey man, it doesn't matter, man. It's just some old news. Nobody cares. Nobody say, motherfuckers that make millions off Frisco, bro. We're
That's
not.
what the Mythbusters was about, Frisco.
Yeah, basically he allegedly quit. That's what the Mythbuster was about. So it's been a
Oh,
lot of
okay.
stuff. Have you heard that, or is that something
Nah,
that you
I
never
haven't
heard
heard.
that before?
No, I haven't heard too much about Garner dogs. I don't really like, or those dogs that in a whole. I don't follow those dogs too much. You know what I
Oh, I
mean?
got you.
It's kind of like this thing where you see a whole lot of it, but you just don't pay attention to it. You know.
Right,
So
right, right.
I never did my history. I never did my research too much on him or those dogs and so much. You know. So
Yeah, no, I got you.
I don't know if he quit, but I know he made in the future his some bad dogs came off of his nuts.
Yeah, I mean, shit, he had a lot of dogs came from his nuts.
You can say that
27
for sure.
pages.
You know, so
27 pages.
yeah, that was them days where you could do that, where you could
Yeah,
have
I guess
27
so.
pages of dogs. You know what I mean? There's only a few people that can do that in today's time, and and not be in trouble.
Ooh, damn, damn, I forgot. That's the only thing. It's like in getting
The
trouble. You
ones
always got to think about that.
the ones that done already told on people.
Wow, you came in here today. Boy. He we getting a treat today, boy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real.
Man,
Them
these
is the only
boys,
people
they
that
they
can do
think it's a
something.
good thing to do. My thing, look, I'm not trying to promote criminality because some people they'll spin it on me. They'll be like, "That's because you're a criminal. That's why you like
Mm-mm.
criminals, and you don't
No,
want,
we don't
because you're a
participate in none
criminal."
of
No,
that
it don't
stuff.
have nothing to do with that. My thing is this: my mom told me when I was a kid. She said, if you go out here and get locked up, don't call me. That's what my mom told me, dog. Now, I understand some people got a mom to where, you could call them, when you get into some shit. And she gonna come down there and do all of this enabling and shit. You know what I'm saying? So my whole concept is, and it's always been, is when I do that, when I go out there and I do that crime, I'm on my fucking own. I've always had that concept, and
Right.
I've always knew that,
Right.
And so when you go out here and you do crime, you know that there's consequences. This is not like a crime that you did and you just really just fucking
Exactly.
didn't know that this was a crime. Or like what Diddy did, ordering a prostitute for his girl, and now he's looking at federal racketeering and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he, in his situation, even though it's wrong, you didn't think that you could end up in federal court for this, right?
Uh-huh.
So I give him a pass, but most people that do crime, they know what they're doing.
You know exactly what you're doing. They're
And you
doing.
shouldn't be doing it.
And the way
And
your
if you're a sucker and you don't want to do the time, you shouldn't
Right.
be doing it.
Right.
That's
And
my thing.
the way your mom's told you that, my pops told me if you tell on your your bro, I'm gonna whoop both of y'all asses. Don't tell
Exactly.
me shit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for real.
Yeah, and that's the
So
way
I
it
don't
should be.
have no
But don't you
sympathy
know?
for people that you try to shame me for talking bad about snitches.
Yeah.
Don't shame me. You shouldn't be doing it.
Don't get
Don't get
involved in
caught.
those things if you're not ready to deal with the consequences. Period.
Now, dry snitches, I never like a kid that I'm gonna tell on you because I didn't like that. Or, I never liked a kid like that. I never did. So dry snitching is like, you could have been minding your own fucking business, but now you want to tell about what this man is doing to hope Charleston White type shit to hopefully get this man locked up and indicted. That's what you're trying to do. And that's dry snitching, because the wrong person could get a hold of that information and it could turn it bad for that man. So that's why I don't like dry snitching. Rather, if you got paperwork or whatever the fuck it is, you jump on the internet, YouTube, and you're saying shit that what somebody else is doing to hopefully get him locked up, rather if you intended to or not. Because some people just dry snitch, they didn't intend to. But some people do it over and over and over and over and over. You know what their intention is. They're trying to get you caught up, bro. So no, I don't believe in promoting criminality, but I also don't believe in people being that much of a sucker.
Right.
To where, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. So yeah, that's the thing. So the Mythbusters. I don't know anything about was it Frisco, did you say?
Yeah, Frisco.
I know something about Eli Jr. though.
Oh, Eli Jr. What's up with Eli Jr.?
Oh man, Eli Jr. was a hell of a dog.
He was what?
A hell of a dog. And a hell of a
Well, I know
producer.
you like the Eli dog, so come on, let's talk about some Eli dogs. Go ahead.
Nah, man.
I know. Here we go.
Don't do that, Buck.
Here we go.
Don't do that, Buck. We're gonna have nothing but
hey, let's hear it. Let's hear
man.
it. Boy.
I like Eli.
I like the Eli dogs. I like them. They I think they bring a very important thing to your dogs, you know, if used properly, you know, used properly. You can, because that's what I use it for. I use it more for a spark and not a base.
Mm-hmm.
So what it's been able to do with my line, what it's been able to do, you know, historically speaking,
Yeah, let's
even
talk
when you
about
look
that.
at Mayday,
you
say
had
what?
good, I said let's talk about that. Have you had good success running it with the buck dogs?
Eli, yeah, I got some macho buck. I did a matter of fact, since we could stunt, I think can we stunt? Can we stunt right now? Let me see. Hold up, I need that window.
Because I got this frozen semen is touching down in the AM.
Okay. Okay. Hold up, let me see. Okay, I'm gonna show you what we just whipped up.
Or Finish said he liked the Earl and the Earl Jr.
With the team whipped up. You know, you could look at some of the components and whatnot and what's in there and how it applies to the Eli world. That's not really my world, but I respect it, and I believe if you run the type of dogs that I run, you're gonna have to add that in there anyway, because it was a component that was added in there.
It was used to make it.
Exactly, it was used.
Say that.
Not, I wouldn't say
so
that
here
it
goes from Buck City.
I wouldn't
man.
say
You
that
gotta
they
respect
used
the
it
Eli
for like
dogs.
the pivotal role, but
Right.
you know, it been used, bro.
You're getting it right here at Buck City. You gotta respect the Eli dogs because they were used to make some of the
hey. It wasn't a pivotal role. It didn't play a pivotal role. Pivotal. But it is in there. You gotta respect it. Okay, so this one right here, this is a secret sauce. We tried it one time, didn't take. So the team, you know what I'm saying, they're very resilient guys. So they, you know, we got it done. And it's got some sizzles. It got this is Jigsaw 7-8 Sports Doc Holiday's Littermate brother on the top, the Croatina 3 Little Lynch up there, the Michael Myers, the Crow bitch that I import. It's import, you know, you got to import shit sometimes to get the best of the ingredients. You know, every year they don't got watermelons and stuff all year round. You know, when you go to them grocery stores and they got that good fruit and shit all year round, organic shit and shit like that, it's because they're going outside of the country and they're getting those ingredients and making sure they're always fresh. You say what?
You gotta go get it.
You gotta go get it. You gotta go get it, brother. Okay, so this Macho Skull dog right here. You know, we're doing the Macho Buck with the Boudreaux, Lord Boudreaux skull, real tight. You know what I'm saying? I like that real tight for my Eli guys.
Scream breathing, that skull scream. That skull scream.
You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff in there. All of that good stuff is real tight. We got the El Negro back there. Everything's real tight. The Badger dog. You know, this dog is bred exquisite. Got some exquisite stuff in there. Yes, sir. I like that. I like that right there. I like that. And this dog, it did what it was supposed to do as far as incorporating it into my sauce. So what I did is I said, well, let me try to get the best version of the dog that will probably give me the best genetic capabilities to actually produce me something. So I did kind of a well, because I didn't breed Macho Skull. Let's get that out there. But I bred Stephanie St. Clair, right? So we're gonna take Black Bear to GOAT. This was gonna be my dude. If Michael Myers was out of there, you know, Black Bear was gonna be the next man up. You know, you could check out his pedigree, all the, you know, the bells and whistles. You know, he's got all the bells and whistles. You know, good dog coming from the Macho Buck. Throw a little Barracuda in there. Throw some more Buck in there with some more heavy Tombstone and shit. Tonka and Tombstone. You know, just saturated, right? Just shit, just saturated, right?
Whole bunch of Eli Carver.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So then, you know, of course, you know, we talk about Garner, you know, it's the LeBron James of this shit, the wilt, the stilt mixed with LeBron James, or no, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar mixed with LeBron James. Like, he killed both eras. He killed everybody in his era. He smashed everybody in our era. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna smash everybody's grandkids. So this bitch right here, heavied up on the chemo, you know, you're gonna get a lot of Frisco. You know, it's a lot of Frisco going in here. There's Dynamite Dog, you know, there's a lot of Chinamen, you know, the Ling Ling, you know, they love the Ling Ling, and you know, all of this that everybody be talking about, right? So we made sure that we packed that in. That bitch she was real quirky. I don't know how good of a bitch she would have been, you know, maybe in 1975, but you know, she was a real quirky ass, crazy ass bitch, really small. This was my tiny line. This was my this actually started my tiny line. Both of these dogs under 30 pounds, you know, Stephanie St. Clair under 30 pounds, you know, cross her with the Macho Skull, put a little bit of size on them, just tiny bit of size. There was still some that came off this litter that was small. And then going back up here, up top, with everything that's been going on, all the resilience that's been going on with the Lynch doll, Lady doll, you know, all of those dogs, just to make sure that the blood and everything is right, man. You know, also with you know, you got a lot of Damien dogs in there, and you got a lot of Macho Buck dogs in there, so you'll be line breeding on Macho Buck's mother. Also, you'll be line breeding on well, yeah, with Damien and Macho Buck's mother, you know, so they're the same dogs, so the same shit, you know. But yeah, that's how I kind of use my Eli shit. You know, I make sure I keep it in there tight, you know, just like that. And that Stephanie bitch,
it's gonna click all day with that old school Patrick stuff, man.
Right, right. And this right here, this is her pet. So we did that, and then we're gonna see about some other stuff. Maybe go heavy on the Eli. Maybe, you know what I'm saying. This you got options.
I got a dog with that Macho Skull dog in him.
Oh, with the Macho Skull.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that was a good producing dog, man. He was a good producing dog.
That's what's up.
How's yours bred?
Very similar.
Okay.
I'll show you it on the back streets.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, nah, we like those. We like those. We took them to a let me see. There's let me see. Here we go. Black gold. This bitch right here. It's a litter mate. It's the litter mate to this. But let me just go to this. It's a litter mate to this. It's got a lot of Eli and stuff. You know, we crossed it back down to that. You know, we're fucking around, man. I will fuck with the Eli because I do understand what it is. I understand the mission that what they were trying to do, you know, with these dogs. And you know, I mean, these are some good ass dogs.
Not only will it cross good with that stuff, it's gonna cross good with the crow stuff that you got in there too.
Yeah. See, I haven't tried that. I haven't tried that yet. But yeah, that might be on the. Did you just have
Protana in that pet with the Eli stuff?
Well, I mean, that's not a major influence, though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That wouldn't be, to me, it wouldn't be considered a major influence. Besides, that's Osiris. in there. He's got a lot of Mayday, Stone City. You know what I'm saying? Crow's got his little quarter of Mayday in there. So
For
I
sure.
wouldn't necessarily do that versus maybe take one of those with or a direct kid of Croatina back to the heavy Eli infused type.
Yeah.
That's what I
Whenever
mean
you,
by
I
trying
got
it.
that one for you. Whenever you're ready, come and let's do it.
You know what I'm saying? Or like I said, this bitch back to the heavy crow. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
But that one, so let's see. I think the guys. Okay, so yeah, these are the little youngsters that are in the magazine. You know, they're cracking kennels. You know, they say that they're the source of the macho skull blood. You know, these guys are little young dudes. They took the magazine to school, showed their teacher, their kids
All right,
at the
cracking. Y'all got
school.
the macho skull. That's what I'm
You
talking
know,
about.
so he's in there. That's that one breeding I showed you right there. This dog right here is a super, super good dog. Super good dog. We do that Moxie stuff. I was, one of the privileged guys to get 2 out of 3 of the last Moxie dog, last of the Moxie litter before she died.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this Moxie
You
bitch,
could zoom
Macho
in. You could
Bear.
zoom in a little bit on more on that pet.
Let me see. What on this one?
Yeah,
Let me see where we at.
I need my glasses.
Hold up. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
So they
Yeah.
got some of these. Plus
Okay. Yeah. I know exactly. Yeah.
they got the basically both of the ones I showed you, but
It got the stuff down there too.
yeah,
The
it's got
macho
the
skull
extra
down
macho
there.
buck in there. Do some more macho buck. Do this shit right here.
Mm-hmm.
This dog was bred great. Great bred dog. All of the good dogs in there. You got your Damien in there too.
All right.
A lot of macho buck, lot of different macho bucks, barracudas and stuff. Moxie.
I got a nice mail from a 50-50 cross from that skull macho buck. I got a nice mail from that stuff.
Yeah.
He's about pushing up on 5 years old now.
I'm careful when I do my macho bucks. I always keep my crosses. I
Mm-hmm.
don't normally do a lot of heavy. I make sure I keep a little cross in there.
Well,
These are
let's
like this
talk
dog right
about.
here is heavy as shit. He's
Well,
heavy.
you can talk about all the greatness that was made when they did when they crossed the macho buck into the Garner's line. You know what I mean? When they did that cross, man,
Yeah.
man, that's to be talked about.
Which ones came out of that cross?
Um, and think like Champion Fearless. Uh, don't get me on
Fearless
here
wasn't a
acting.
Garner shit.
No, my bad, not Fearless. Um, hold on, man. There was a lot of good ones. One of my boy, he rap it down to me all the time. He'd be like, he keep them coming too. Champion this, champion that, champion this, champion that. But let me do some. Let me get some to re-elect my memory a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, I just
Yeah.
just see what direction, what kind of blends they was putting together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Macho Buck, he's a good dog, man. It's a lot of good dogs went into creating that dog.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that, you know, in that era, because I remember, you know, Macho Buck was that, he was that dog. Like when I first seen him, like he was like, man, they marketed that motherfucker to be the next Mayday, dog. They did. They did. I mean, I'm not saying that was a bad thing. I think that was a good thing, you know. You're able to do some shit like that, but I was around them days. And I remember the breedings that they were doing with Macho Buck, and I remember the smoke in the air. People were talking about he wasn't producing. You know, people were getting a lot of dogs like Champion the Champion, all, you know, a lot of shit. My dude had one off of Macho Buck and Hannah, I think. Champion Hannah, Champion Macho Buck. You know what I'm saying? Like you and the expectations and what people thought that dog was supposed to be and what the fuck it was night and day. And what the fuck a lot of those dogs were. So it lets you know that a lot of people just be learning as they go. Of course, no dog man to admit that. You know, nobody's gonna admit that they're learning as they go. And when they probably had that dog, they probably weren't making the best breedings with them. You know, maybe it was somebody that came and bred to them that made an even better dog. You know what I'm saying? Than you.
Yeah. So you got
just like if you know my dogs and you see what I got, let's say I got some shit, it's tight as fuck, but it's kind of average. And then I get a dog that's good. And then I keep bumping my head making those same crosses. You see it. You ain't saying nothing, but you see me keep making the same. Oh, what breeding you doing? Oh, I'm gonna breed her with her, you know what I'm saying, with him. And you in your mind, you're like, damn, why would you do that? You just bred him back to the sister and didn't get shit. What makes you think it's gonna change? Or, you know, it's not gonna change significant, you know, which it could be. You might get it done. But when you're just guessing like that, I think you're doing your time, like you're fucking up your time at that point.
I feel it.
You know what I'm saying? But I love these dogs, man. We could talk about these dogs all day. And ain't nobody gonna be wrong because your experience, my experience, that dog, this dog, the genetics, everything. Basically, all is to say, when you got something good, hold on to it. The preservation of it, you know, go out of your way to get the right ingredients. And when you put that shit together and you go back in your yard, you could be real happy about what you got. You're not nervous about this and that because it's some type of fudgery going on or something, you know, in the sauce. Right. You don't have to worry about that. You can be confident. Hey, man, these are my dogs. And sometimes when people see them, they be like, oh, damn, this is nice. You know, like people eventually start to appreciate what you got because those are those Earl Jr. dogs that you know, you had those, even like Epinet.
Right.
You know, he did a unique thing. He kind of came to Garner. If I look at his pedigrees and I didn't talk to him, I would think like he was just kind of on the outside looking in, but, you know, dibbling and dabbling, going over there, grabbing for shit, and then kind of developing his own little line. And then he just kept breeding and, you know, just kind of doing his shit, you know, which is nuts because I'm making a story on it for the magazine, but RIP Epinet, he gave me a story for the first one. Well, it was actually one that was inspired by him. You know, he wrote it, but I think it was Champion Casper, and they had a truck with Epinet Kennels, Champion Casper in the window of the truck. And that's just nuts. And the only reason why it's nuts because I know that I couldn't get away with that shit. You know, like they fucking with me for everything. And we could talk about how old that was. It had to be in the 90s, 95, 98, maybe 2000. Because the truck, you know, I'm not an expert at trucks, but the truck looked like it was at least from 90. It kind of had a little round body to it. I think 94, 95 is when they started rounding shit off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So that was nuts. But I'm gonna figure out a good way to spin it into a story, you know. That was nuts, though. Hey, man, everybody that pulled up, I'm gonna get an early jump on the day. It's real early. We got to get in this phone. Got a couple phone calls to make.
Yes, sir. Hey, man. Shout out to Buck City and the APBT Magazine, Volume 2. Text his number up top, man. He gonna have it straight to your door. Straight to your door. Let's get it, man. Support the APBT community. Buck City doing big things with this magazine. He enlightening everybody. It's a lot to learn from this magazine. You gonna have great stories in it.
Yeah.
Hey, man, salute the chat, man. Constant pressure. Appreciate y'all for having me.
I appreciate you, brother, for pulling up. Yes, sir. Hey, man, look. Everybody be easy. Check those chain spots. Appreciate everybody that pulled up to the cookout. We've been getting it in. Mert Dog, what up? What's going on, Mert? Let me get some of them straws, Mert. Let me use some of that shit. You know? Let me use some of that shit. We got some motion going on, so let me get to it. Appreciate everybody that pulled up. Another good one. We chopped it up about a lot of things that we all need to be talking about when it comes to community building. It ain't got shit to do with racism. It's about fixing your own ass before you try to fix somebody else's ass. That's just period, bro. And you know what I'm saying? Be an example of a good person. I think this world is lacking that. More examples of good people. So let's do that. Keep the dogs in the positive light. Send me some pictures. Text me some pictures. You know, I might put them in the magazine. I like them. If I like them, I put them in there. Send me a picture, your dog's name. You know, matter of fact, first 10, I put them in the magazine. I got a page just for you. If you got to do it today, though. Send me the picture of the dog. I'll put it in the magazine. This Buck City. I'm out.
Drop fast, move too flip too fast. Ain't no such thing too fast for me.
Drop too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast.
Money's always on my mind, so I'ma get it. And if it makes sense, then you know I'm down with it. Cause people say I drive too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast. I got it coming in like Usain Bolt. You want that dope? You gon' get what you pay for. Telling me I move fast, but I think you move slow. Time waits for no man. Gotta get that new dough. Just dropped off the last batch. I got a new loaf. Had to double back cause he called and needed 2 more. Maybe I be driving too fast for that guap. It's coming in too fast. I pray it don't stop. Cause I was on the bottom, gotta climb to the top. Used to rock hand-me-downs, now I'm handy on the block. I came up off the rock like Sean. I'm a whole lobster, y'all prawns. You fucking with a king, y'all ponds. And for that 25, you get that Barry Bonds. Cause people say I drive too fast, too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast. Money's always on my mind, so I'ma get it. And if it makes sense, then you know I'm down with it. Cause people say I drive too fast, move too fast, live too fast. get up out my way like Luda. Carpool lane by myself for the Gouda. One twitch, you could get black by a shooter. Real fast, come up in your house like an intruder. Drive 110 in the 60s. Hand over that money first, you ain't about to jit me. Gotta keep that blick on my lap cause it get tricky. Keep both eyes open in these streets cause it get iffy. I need them blue avatars. Nigga, what you travel for? I was moving fast, trapping in that travel lodge. Or that day's in, waiting till them days in. I'm blessed I made it this far, this shit's amazing. But people say I drive too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast. Money's always on my mind, so I'ma get it. And if it makes sense, then you know I'm down with it. Cause people say I drive too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast. I got it coming in like Usain Bolt. You want that dope? You gon' get what you pay for.
Yeah. Drive too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast.
Drop fast, move too, live too fast. Ain't no such thing too fast.
This ain't just a magazine. It's a movement. The American Pit Bull Terrier. Real dogs, real yards, real history. From legendary bloodlines to modern breeders, keeping the flame lit. Yard spotlights, breeding knowledge, controversy, culture. This is for the ones who walk it like they talk it. No fluff, no fakes, just dog man, dog woman, and dogs. Grab your issue now, support the culture. Because the legacy don't live online, it lives in print.
Every day I wake up around 5:30. Early bird get the worm, so I'm up with the birdies. Over 30, still shooting like Steph Curry. I got it for the 56, so you better hurry. Still riding dirty like I just turned 30. I'm just trying to spread this cheese around like Papa Murphy. I done put niggas on that came back to hurt me, but you ain't put your brother on, Eddie Murphy. I done trust homies and they did me dirty. I done love bitches and they cheated on me. Type of shit you wouldn't have known if you didn't know me. I got secrets that I can't even tell my homies. Got a few secrets that I keep between my brothers. And when I say brothers, I'm talking same mother, same father, all grew up in one house. Am I my brother's keeper? Without a doubt. I remember that day I saw my first gram. And all them days that I saved to make my first band. I had that off-white, tan like beach sand. Now I got fiends that look like Lindsay Lohan. Since my first B-day, I've been bout $1. Served a white fiend that looked like he was on $1. I done seen a clean chick use a dirty dollar. Serve rich dough fiends that roll up $100.
Why I'm doing this, matter of fact, won't you ask the why I'm doing this shit? Yeah, the book. You know what I'm saying? The book is like folks, man. Them people. Man, nigga tripping, man.
I've been on one, plus 23. Lately been feeling like KOBE. I'm in the trap, trying to whip a 3-peat. Little homie just called me for a 3-piece. He looking for the bean when he wore number 8. Man, I got some beans that I'm still scared to take. I'm still in the hood, daily risks that I take. I still think about them bands that I could've made. But I don't trip though. Think about it cause it's motivational. Still think about them days I had no place to go. Mine's a hell of a thing to waste, but I didn't waste it though. Yeah, I had to step back just to step forward. All good things in, man, that shit's normal. Had to cut the bitch off, she was too boring. Steering wheel on the left, but my shit's foreign. Yeah. I need my house up on the hill like my name Lauren. Yeah. Blue and raspberry got my skin portion.
What you niggas talking about? Those books. What? You fuck with them? I don't fuck with them. Hell no, I don't fuck with them, man. I wanna burn that shit down, man. It's all they don't even accept food stamps. Damn.
I'm just trying to make these ends meet. Fuck trying to rekindle, I let friends be. I know niggas that got mad cause they unfriend me. I had homies turn on me and they met through me. I got people ducking me and I fronted them. And a few hating me when I got love for them. They gon' secret swim. I ain't seen them in some years, why would I link with them? I heard them niggas R&B, why would I be with them singing? All I need is a beat and I'ma do what I do. Y'all do what you can, I do what I want to. I can tell you don't want beef, y'all vegan lunch food. If I blitz and hut 1 year, all sides and hut 2. Glock split the hot 2. Nigga got that kill tech, but I keep a Glock 2. Got ladies in stocks too. You better duck when I shoot. And if they ride with you, they'll be in love with you.